Hey, hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins and three crazy rescue dogs, who likes to craft in her spare time, has gone back to school to be an ASL interpreter, and is trying to train for Iron Man. Welcome to my station, or my channel. Welcome. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message. It boosts my self-esteem and serotonin, and honestly, I could use that. If you're returning, welcome back. You already know what you're in for, the crazy that's about to ensue. But I do appreciate you being here. Okay, so our sign of the week is actually a couple, but that's okay. So we're going to do happy, our little happy. They don't have to move together, they can go, but you're happy. Then you're going to do J, U, so J, U, L, Y for July. Then you're going to do fourth. And in order to do four, you have to sort of scoop it. It's what makes it the fourth. So happy July 4th. I know. I, y'all know I don't keep my thoughts in my head very well. So, yeah. Um, let's just say that I used the extra day with the courts being closed to try and get over COVID. I am still not over the COVIDs. Um, I have now done a second course of antibiotics. As of a little while ago, I started running a fever. I don't typically run a fever, even a low-grade fever. Even when my shunt was infected years ago, didn't run a fever. So the fact that my fever, like that I'm getting a fever, it's a little unsettling, not gonna lie. And I still feel like I got hit by a Mack truck. I'm using my inhaler. I have not used a nebulizer lately, but I didn't use that much when it first started either, just a couple times. Um, so I contacted my doctor on Friday because I was still feeling so crappy, and my doctor was out of the office for the holiday, which is understandable. And his partner, who has got the bedside manner of a wet sheet, um, was so booked up that they were actually sending his patients to the office next door. So I called them. In order to see them, I had to change the PCP listed with my insurance. I called back. The poor woman couldn't figure out how to do a telemed visit. She couldn't. So over an hour between them being late and then not figuring that out, she finally just calls me. She's like, "Can we just do it over the phone?" I'm like, "Yes, that's fine." So she ordered a chest x-ray, which, okay, because she's worried the COVID could have gone into pneumonia. And I'm like, well, I'm just getting over pneumonia, so okay. And then she ordered lab work. Y'all, this is somebody who has been a doctor for a while. This isn't like somebody who is new, like one of the residents, because, in July, meds, like, hospital switch residents and stuff. That's why I will never, like, I don't get a lumbar puncture really in July, and I try not to even schedule it in August because I don't want the new doctors ramming a needle into my spine. I have learned this. So she ordered a white blood cell count, okay, and surprise, it's high. And her message to me was likely due to the fact that you have COVID. You think? You think? I mean, I'm no MD, I'm a JD, but don't think that's a rocket science sort of stretch. So then she also tested my A1C, which my PCP and I already knew was going to be elevated. I have been on far too much steroids and far too sick the last couple of months. And, some of the foods that I'm able to eat are high carb foods, like mashed potatoes settle well in my stomach, kind of thing. Like, it has not been a surprise. I have not been able to work out much because, I got over bronchitis pneumonia and went to StitchCon, like, because I had been well for a while and got cleared and got COVID. So it's not. So are we surprised? No. Had she looked at my chart, she would know that it's not much higher than it was 3 months ago. My doctor was like, we're not even going to check your A1C right now because we know it's going to be messed up with everything that's been going on the last couple months. The fact is, getting you through COVID is a little bit more important, is a lot more important than worrying what your A1C right now is. We agreed to that. Okay. So she drew the A1C and she's like, okay, so you need to follow up with your PCP about this because that's not right. Okay, again, had you check the chart, ding-a-ling. And then she drew my kidney levels. Why? Can somebody explain this to me? Because it doesn't make sense. So I'm kind of pissed because now she's going to bill the insurance and I am likely going to end up with some sort of bill from this. And it's just not like. And then when we went to get the x-rays, because I had tested positive within 10 days, the hospital couldn't figure out how to have me, like, it took them over an hour to figure out how to get me into the hospital to have the x-ray done. We ended up having to go in through the door next to the emergency room. I had on just a regular, like, surgical mask, but not like an N95 mask. And the tech that came out, she had on the same sort of mask. I'm like, oh, it was not, like, wasn't a big deal. Like, she's like, yeah. And the hospital is telling their staff they only have to quarantine for 3 days. So, yeah, little unnerving. So, needless to say, I am just exhausted. I missed last week my Thursday night class because by the time I got to the message, I did end up emailing the program director. By the time I got the message from the substitute professor, the class was almost over. Um, and so I couldn't log in via Zoom, but I am being told that it will not be held against me as far as the attendance policy. So it better not be because I will be livid. But now with this temperature, my English class actually starts on Thursday morning. Thank God, because I thought it started tomorrow. It's supposed to be a Tuesday, Thursday class, and I thought it was going to start tomorrow, and it is not. It does not start until Thursday because I double checked, thank goodness. But I don't know if I'm allowed on campus now with starting to have a fever. And clearly that means I'm not getting better. Um, and so, yeah. So we shall see because I don't even know how to get a hold of that professor. I've never had that professor. So, um, a little disconcerting. Um, so, um, and I don't know how to handle Thursday night's class. Now, Wednesday night class is not a big deal. That professor will just open up her Zoom and whatnot. So, and with the extra credit of going to the SI classes, I think I should be passing that class as of right now. Um, Believe it or not, the midterm really helped me. GPA, like my grade percentage in that class. However, I am not the only one who is struggling in that class. Apparently, I am talking to classmates, and my grade is on par with most of my classmates. So, makes me feel a little bit better, but still sucks. So, okay. Let's start off with um so I have been doing quite a bit, believe it or not. Like I'm napping. The kids are both feeling pretty good. Bella's got a little bit of a sore throat still, and her cough is bad, but she's got asthma on top of it, so it's flared that up. So we are working on that. The boy is the boy, but the boy cooked dinner the last 2 nights, and honestly, it was really good. He made burgers, so was rather happy. So, um, my chest freezer is still mostly cleared off, except for I have the roller for the cup because y'all, wait, I started to epoxy resin it and I put the vinyl down. I did not realize that there was a bubble, so I've got to do one more layer of epoxy. The other thing that I have learned next time is I will tape off the bottom here because I didn't and it kind of dripped in. So now I've got to figure out how to. I don't know that you can get that off. It's epoxy. I don't think you can get it off. So I've got to, it doesn't, it's still pretty level. I mean, it's not 100%, but I could likely filled it up with epoxy on the other side. Like I could probably level this out so that it is level or it is flat. Um, it says sea hag. It's a noun. A mermaid before her coffee. A mermaid before her coffee. So it definitely does need one more layer of epoxy, not just because I have that bubble, but because I didn't quite get it up here high enough. And it's a little of the glitter rough. But honestly, for my first time, I'm pretty impressed with myself. It's super cute. So that's kind of fun. So my little Turner spinner thing is over here, and I have got to tell you guys, this is gonna sound really crazy, but hey, that's what you're here for, right? So I got these silicone mats to stick under it because it will drip, and I didn't want the drips to be like on my chest freezer or like really anywhere. And I was like, okay, I want something that's kind of reusable rather than always sticking paper under it, which was my initial plan. And Amazon, darn you, Jeff Bezos, um, put these on sale, and they're silicone craft mats that you can put like under your epoxy things or like under your glue gun. Okay, you know when you're a little kid and you used to put like the glue on your hand? Am I like I'm really dating myself? You know, we kids who grew up in the 70s didn't have all these fancy gadgets, right? We had Elmer's glue. And you would put the glue or the rubber cement on your hand and then you would peel it off. And it's kind of satisfying. I know it's a weird thing. If you either get it or you don't, okay? Don't look at me weird. So the epoxy like beads. Can you see that? It like beads up on the mat as it's dripping off the thing as it's spinning in like slow motion. Okay, y'all, it's kind of rewarding to peel off the like little epoxy dots. Just saying. It's kind of, I don't know. There's like it's that same joy of peeling off the glue off your hand as a kid. And that is probably something my kids probably have no idea the joy of because they were born in 2000 and they had way more than just Elmer's glue to mess around with. Um, so yeah. But otherwise, I have managed essentially to keep my chest freezer cleared off except for my little spinner doodad. That was the only addition this last week, and for that, I'm not ashamed. I'm not. I'm not ashamed. Um, as for what did I buy this week, because that's probably the easier thing to show you first. Um, I bought vinyl because I was short on that for the project bags that I had cut out. So with the holiday sales and coupons and stuff, I bought that, and I bought some fusible fleece to finish making a bunch of project bags. Let's see, you don't need to see any of those because I didn't work on any of those. I know. Um, I would put the last coat on this, but honestly, as soon as I get this uploaded, I'm likely going to bed, even though it will be probably before 7 o'clock at night. And I don't really care. I'm tired. I look at my bike, I want to bike, and then the reality of how I feel kicks in. And my back has flared up, but again, they can't do the back procedure um, because COVID. So until I'm feeling better from the COVID, it's pain meds, which also is hiking up my A1C. So, like, we know it's not okay. It does have something to do with all the little popsicles I'm eating, but I'm eating popsicles because, like, they taste good. Like, I can actually taste them, and they feel good on my throat, which is so raw because everything is just. And it. Okay, for those of you who have the COVID or who have had the COVID, it's like a thicker mucus than normally, like when you get just a cold or even through the pneumonia. It's like a thick. It's gross. It's gross. Um. Okay. So the other thing that I bought at the Joann's on the sale, it's the Joann's. I don't know how it's become the Joann's rather than Joann's, but in my house, everybody refers to it as, I think it's a Michigan thing, because we also say the Meyer, and it's not the Meyer, it's Myers, and I think it's only Meyer. It's not Myers. I don't think it's plural. I think that's one of those things it used to be, but it's not. I think it's just Meyer. But we all say the Myers or the Krogers. We're going to the Sam's Club. We're going to the Costco. We're going to the Home Depot. None of these things have the in front of them. The only, like, the Ohio State, and they've apparently licensed the word the, which I can't believe they got permission to license the word the. But, you know, hey, with our government right now, who's surprised that anything's happening? Because I'm sure as hell not anymore. We've got half of the Constitution already. Okay, so the other thing that I got was for my Cricut cutter, and that is some chipboard. I actually thought it was going to be a little thinner. I got the heavy chipboard. It's 0.2 millimeters thick. Y'all, 0.2 millimeters is kind of thick. Because I was thinking it would make great permanent, like, not the plastic. I like the plastic ones, but I could be more specific about my dots. I like these and I don't like these. We've had this discussion. So I got 2 packs of these because they were on sale, and then I got the extra 25% off coupon because I did curbside pickup because, you know, the COVID, and that way they could just throw it in the back of my car and I didn't have to, like, breathe on them or anything. So they, like, literally opened the back of George and threw it in. But I have to admit, Joann's has got, like, the one of the worst apps. It wouldn't let me add the DMC floss that I wanted. I wanted 5 skeins of 156. It wouldn't let me add that. So then I called the store and we handled it, but and then it kept crashing, and then when I got there it wouldn't let me, like, I had to call the store and tell them I was there because the app wouldn't let me, it kept crashing. It wouldn't let me use it. It was a nightmare. So anyways, I have 2 packs of these, and now I'm not quite sure what the heck I'm going to do with them because I was thinking that it was thinner, and each pack has 5 pieces in it. So I don't know. The other thing that I had, I'm having commissioned is a mold from my friend at Taryn at Lush Llama, the Lush Llama on Etsy. She does fantastic work, and she will make molds and cookie cutters, custom cookie cutters, and things like that. And she is a personal friend of mine. If you all remember, I did her wedding, which reminds me, I'm going to work on her wedding sampler. And so, yeah. Oh, by the way, I tried it. I'm sorry, y'all, that I'm all over the place, but that is the nature of my life right now. So one of the beers I picked up at Jungle Jim's is called Slush Mallow. It's by 450 North Brewing Company, and it's fun with jellyfish. I was kind of sad. I was expecting, like, little floaties in it. It's not, but it's like a pink. Even the foam was like a pink. It's a smoothie style sour ale. And honestly, it's pretty darn good. I would recommend it. Not if you are allergic to peanuts, though. So I've had to take Benadryl. And so now that I have the Benadryl in me, I can finish my beer. It's not the best combo to have, Benadryl and beer, but whatever. It's a strawberry, peanut butter, banana, raspberry, and marshmallow smoothie style sour ale. The other thing that we did in my house was try the 2 sodas that I'd picked up from Jungle Jim's. One was Barf, which surprisingly was a huge hit with all 3 of us. It was kind of I want to say almost a grapefruity sort of flavor. It did not taste like Barf at all. Because when I was in Minnesota years ago, was about 5-6 years ago now, I had picked up the Boy Child. There's a brand, and they do all kinds of weird soda flavors. Like, they have ring dressing soda. But I had picked up maple bacon, and I brought it home to him, and it tasted very maple syrupy. And he told me it tasted like Canadians, and it was the funniest thing, and it's still kind of funny to me now, all these years later. But Barf soda by this, and I don't remember who it's by, actually tastes pretty good. And then we tried zombie brain juice, and that was pretty good. That's an orange strawberry, but it tasted very like fake strawberry ish. So I wouldn't recommend that one unless you like that fake strawberry flavor. Um, but the barf soda was actually really good, surprisingly. So, anyways, I'm drinking squishmallow, slushmallow, slushmallow, um, very slowly, and so yeah, so back to Taryn. So I have been doing some over dyeing of DMC flosses and whatnot, and some other floss dyeing from original, like from white to different things, and just kind of playing with it. Um, Apparently Nigel doesn't want me to have a cough drop. Um, the little dog does not like fireworks at all. Like, he has been beside himself. Maisie is scared of everything still, like even after having her this long. And so she lays like at my feet. And my big girl, she ain't having none of this shit. So if the people in this area could stop lighting off fireworks, that would be really great. Also remember, I live in a mobile home or manufactured home community. Do people not know, like, fireworks catch, they're fire. It's fire. I would prefer my house not be lit on fire by a stray firework, because these things go up pretty darn quick. So it's got me a little freaked out. I'm sure she's sensing my anxiety, so my big girl is not happy. Um, so there's some intersquabbling between the three of them as well, to see who can be near a human that will keep them safe the most. Um, Speaking of dogs, um, love your fur babies, extra lot. Carrie from DNA crafting. DNA. We sat together at StitchCon. She's absolutely adorable. Um, she unexpectedly lost her dog last week, um, which is devastating. As anybody with pet knows, like, even if you know your dog or your animal is sick for a while, it's not easy to watch them pass. It is even more when it is even more devastating when it is out of the blue. Um, and then we learned yesterday that my mom's dog, um, Lucy, passed. Um, and my mom knew it was coming, but my mom is devastating, needless to say. And there's no way, like, I can't go over and do anything. Like, I can't. Like, I can't risk her health just to give her a hug, as much as I know she needs it. That said, she still hasn't asked about or said anything about three of us having COVID. Nothing. Nothing. Um, Again, we all know I am not the favorite child in the house. Yeah. Um, but my younger brother apparently is driving over um, from the other side of the state this next Friday. Likely my niece probably has a hockey tournament or something. I don't know. So she's all excited that the prodigal youngest son returneth, to be able to hug her. So yeah. Uh-huh. So while I bought the pattern at StitchCon to stitch for my mother, I am I am very torn about investing the time and quite frankly the money as well, because while DMC is not that expensive, they do add up. And linen or even Ada, like, still adds up. There's still a cost. There's still a monetary cost, but there's also still a lot of time factor cost. Um, so I'm not sure what to do, and I'm a little torn. Um, because part of it too is I don't want to invest the time, and then I'm gonna have it out. I frame it somehow because it's a long, narrow piece. So it's not like I would turn that, like it wouldn't. It would make a weird pillow. You couldn't do that. So, um, to get a frame for it, and to invest the time and energy into, I'm torn as to what to do. Honestly, if I'm being very blunt and very honest with myself. um a lot of you know that my mom and I don't have the best relationship, and I think that's very clear from this conversation. um but I try to, anyway, regardless. I guess, long diatribe, and I apologize. I don't know what to do. And so, if anybody has any words of wisdom, I would greatly appreciate it. Needless to say, again, the wall is still not painted. Um, yeah, because I don't have the energy, honestly. And I don't even know where to start. Like, do I pull the freezer out and start behind the refrigerator freezer there? Do I start from the other end, which means I've got to clear the counters off? Like, where the hell do I even start? I'm at that point. Like, so, anyways, back to the Lush Llama. And the reason this, oh my God. Y'all, I'm sorry. It's going to be another long one, and it did not mean it to be. So, the Lush Llama, Tara is making me, or we're trying to work out so that she's going to build me a mold so that I can make resin floss drops that obviously would be very reusable. So that potentially when I send out floss to my customers that I've over dyed or dyed myself, they will come on these little resin bobbins, like floss drops. So we're trying to work it out. I think it's just going to be one of those things that, like, it's just going to elevate what I'm doing and make it just that much. It's going to set me apart from competitors, obviously, in any competitive field, um, that's needed. So I did model stitch my first two patterns. They go together. So when you order, are my lips turning blue, or is it just my screen? It's very unnerving, this whole COVID thing. I mean, I'm not a good patient to begin with. I don't rest well, first of all, as you all know. Like, clearly, I have ADD. Um, I don't rest well, and this is just like, and I'm miserable. Like, I can't get comfortable. I can't get comfortable in my skin. Like, it's just bad. So, okay. So, I know. Look, I'm a fancy framer. Clearly, these have been in my bin of stuff. I swear to God, you guys, I'm not a hoarder. It may seem like I am, but I swear to God, I'm not. Like, I really, once I get on a roll of getting rid of stuff, I don't have a problem getting it's knowing where to start. So anyways, I had bought these frames because we were going to do something in Bella's room, and then Bella decided she didn't want, we went a different direction, or I don't know, or maybe I just sidelined the project because I have ADHD. I don't know. I model stitched, and I've done model stitching for other people, and I've always had, like, thought it was interesting and it was fun. Um, and usually when I get I've done a couple patterns in the past, that I've ended up, like, for myself, that I've stitched, and haven't really had to alter a pattern other than, that I messed it up with my own bad counting, because counting is hard. Numbers are hard. Um, but this one, because it's letters, um, I did make several adjustments as I was stitching it. So, and then I realized that when I did the pattern, y'all, wait till you see them. First of all, you're gonna laugh. I think you will laugh because you guys know me, and you know I'm always like, I don't. So, this will, I will adjust the pattern so that you will get them so that they line up both ways. Um, because I am who I am. But these are the first two patterns that I have decided that I will be selling in a kit. The kit is $40. You will get the hand-dyed fabric from me that I have. It's 18 count Ada that I am affectionately calling Coffee, Tea, or Me. You will get 2 skeins, so roughly 16, 17 yards of overdyed floss, because you'll get both colors. Although I will tell you, having stitched it now, that I would have stitched them both with the bluer, the dark, which surprised me because when I laid them on the fabric, I was leaning towards the purple, but now that I see them stitched, I would do them in the blue, the more blue variegated. You'll get a bow and needle. You'll get the patterns, obviously. You may get your thread on paper thread drops this time though, because I have it just, the kit's just about ready to go without the resin floss drop. I think that's going to be in the future. Like, I think that's going to be we're going to add to it. And then you will also get scented thread wax from Hillbilly Candle Company, and I'm really excited about that. I'm working very closely with them. Obviously, I'm not a stakeholder in the company. My help is my help. I am the company attorney, but that's all. I don't do a lot of and then I make their business cards and stuff because I'm cute and that's what I like to do. So the thread conditioner will be scented. I'm your Huckleberry, and the reason for that is my first pattern. I hope you guys can see it. It says, "I'll be your Huckleberry," down in the frame. So you do not get my IKEA frames. So anyway, so I pulled the frames out of my stash. They have been sitting there for God knows how long. They are from IKEA. And then it's partnered with You'll Be My Sweet Iced Tea. So I'm super. I would honestly, if I have to do it, and I will likely stitch them again because I'm me. What I would do is I would do them both in this more darker blue. I would put this one down here, and I would likely move this one up here. But depending on how you hung them on your wall, and that is why when you buy the pattern, I will send you so that they line up both ways. So yay! Not only did I finish my model stitches, I FFO'd them. Although I have learned that I take really shitty pictures. So I've got to work on that. But super cute. So the other finish that I have, Stacy C's on Facebook is doing a smalls exchange for a Halloween. And you guys, this took me 2 days of stitching, and it probably would have only taken me 1. And honestly, each one of those took me a day. Like they stitch up super fast. Now it took me all day to do it, but this is, I believe the pattern is from Lola Crow. If you're interested, it's a set of 3, and the other one has like octopus tentacles. I don't remember what the third one is, but I did the eyeballs. How cute is that? It does include some back stitching, so if you don't want to do back stitching, I don't know what to tell you, because back stitching really does make it pop. This is on a 14 count Ada that I dyed. It's a really pretty orange. It's mottled, and then I baked it in the oven. I am considering selling that orange. Like, I'd have to make more, but I love this orange, honestly, and some of it is on the piece is really brown and grungy and like just like you would think. So I want to finish this in my brain. What I want to do is make this so that maybe it's backed. Maybe I'll cut my square out of that chipboard, mount it on the chipboard, and have it so that it's dangling in a bigger mason jar, and then fill the bigger mason jar with like cobwebs and one of those plastic spider rings. But I don't want to have to buy a whole bag of spider rings. So does anybody have an extra spider ring laying around that they would be willing to? I'll trade you floss or something. Just need a spider for my small. Other than that, that's the only way my brain is wrapping around to finish it. For some reason, I just think that would be so fun in a you know mason jar. I just said. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm a nut job. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Tell me that too. If you think that's a stupid idea, you can tell me that. I'm open to other things, but I just think that would be funny. Okay. So, I actually, when I look at my pile, I'm like, wow, I actually did get quite a bit of stitching done this last week. So I got my little mason, my small, ready to FFO. I do have a jar. I don't know that I have the rings that go on top, so I may have to go track down. I have to wash the jar out, but I have to go get a wide mouth ring for it. So the other one that I wanted to work on was my frosted pumpkin under the sea cell. I did add my shiny beads. I don't know if you can tell. Lots of beads. Then I added the seahorses and the jellyfish and the little fish. Now in this part is also the words under the sea, and they start over here. I did not add them because I don't know that that's the words I want. And then there's a little bit of border as well that comes up here that they're starting to show, but I don't know what it is, and it doesn't come out for 2 more months, and it's only like one line of it. So I have not stitched that, and I will stitch that when that part comes out. So I did that. Okay. So I had asked last week for WIPGO. It was to one of my numbers that got called was my least favorite WIP. That seemed to say yes, work on, and I had it down. It was either going to be the Trans Pride Cell, and I don't know. Again, I don't have a reason for it not to be like one of those that I like working on. I just it's not right now. When you're only 10 pounds, the big adults can just pick you up and take you wherever. So poor Nigel has just been carted off with the boy child. And anytime he does that, well, first of all, we wash Nigel's bow tie. He's kind of a jerk when he doesn't have his bow tie on. I mean, he's kind of a grumpy old man anyways, but he definitely acts better with his bow ties on. So I've got to figure out how to make more bow ties for Nigel. This is not a thing I ever thought I would be saying out loud. And then, but he will not let Maisie wear one. She absolutely is not. He will yank it off of her and he destroys them every time. Now he lets Lizzie wear hers, but Lizzie is 100 pounds, and it would take her 2 bites to eat Nigel. And I think he knows that, so he doesn't really mess with her too much. So I had just finished 10 days working on Trans Pride Cell, and the other one that I wanted to work on that I've struggled with because of the whole circle issue, as we've gone over a million times, was a Marine Corps emblem. And somebody said because I just put 10 days on Trans Pride Cell to go ahead and work on Marine Corps emblem. So I have done that. I have now worked on it 1 or 2 days. I suppose I could look in the book. Hold please, but I consult the book. We have now worked on it 2 days. And it's actually coming along quite well. So I'm hopeful that by the end of the 10 days, that yellow ring will be all done, as well as the darker gold that goes. Look. See how it goes in the little slashes. I'm hopeful that I can have the yellow, like both, like this whole ring completed. I'm hopeful. It also depends on which days I stitch, and especially with starting English class on Thursday. But with starting English class on Thursday, it's a couple hours long. I don't know that what I may just do is take a project with me and obviously my laptop to campus and just stay at campus until my evening class. Um, because it's like a 40-minute one-way drive. So by the time I drove home, I'd have like 2 hours at home and then I'd have to drive back, I think is what I figured out. And I'm not sure it's worth that. Because it's a lot of gas right now. And George is not, like, I love George. We all know how I feel about my Jeep. Basically, my kids, my dogs, my Jeep. And they're pretty, they vary. Like, some days, you know how it goes. Um, so, but gas right now is like 5.29, 5.39 a gallon right now. So running back and forth, back and forth. I may just stay at campus. I will be honest. I may just stay at campus. Um, oh, the other thing that came in, I was gifted a gift card, like a Visa gift card, on the caveat that I wasn't allowed to pay bills with it. I was not allowed to like buy flooring with it, or like it had to be something frivolous that was just for me. So I got the Ultimate Sampler Motif Source Book by Brenda Keyes and the Samplers Company. Um, this book is really, really cool. And I can't wait to use it to help um, further design a bunch more things, because it is chock full of stuff. Like, um, there is a pattern in here for I want to say it's an alligator. Um, and then I can't show it to you, but it's probably not, but it reminds me of Mushu, the dragon from Mulan, who cracks me up. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow. Why would you dishonor somebody's cow? It just cracks me up. So I was very excited. This came super, super fast. And it is, like I said, it is just chock full of all kinds of goodness. Um, and so yeah, so it's super fun. Okay, so again, we're a little scattered, and I'm sorry. And if you came here looking for an organized, put together person, yeah, I'm sorry. Just go to the next person, because that's not me. Surprisingly, in court, I am like spot on. Like, I am. Yes. But I'm a spicy disaster. I'm not a hot mess express. I'm a spicy disaster. It is what it is. Okay. So, this is the periodic table. There is no pattern. The pattern is up in here. And just looking at a picture of the periodic table of elements. This will be for my daughter, hopefully by the time she graduates vet school or whatever the hell she's doing. I don't know. It is being gifted on the premise that it never, ever, ever ends up at Goodwill or Salvation Army or any other of those places. Like, if she's going to do that, she might as well bury it with me. Although I would understand it if at some point she donated it to, like, her school's library, because it's flipping huge. And yeah. So it was slated for 10 days on Whipco. I still owe it one more day. I thought this weekend I would get both days done. between the COVID and the model stitching and stuff like that, it just didn't happen. I got one day, but one day has got me quite a bit. So we are now. Look at that, guys. Look at. Can you see it? Is it going to be done this year? No, not likely. Does that make me mad? No, not at all. Bean doesn't even have her undergrad. So I've got time. Because I think vet school is like 3 years. I don't know. Bean knows everything. The kid is wicked smart. The statement she popped out of, we've been having a lot of very interesting political discourse conversations in my house. And I nobody should be surprised at that. They are my children. Like, welcome to my world. I think, excuse me, I think in general, your kids end up, they're either going to be a 180 from you and be your total opposites. Like, I don't think I'm very much like my mom or my dad. I mean, I think I have traits of both of them still, but for the most part, I'm not really like the rest of my, like that. Certainly not like my brothers. Or you end up very much like them. And I see very much a lot of me in both of my children. And so they want to have those honest conversations where we're talking about hard topics, and being respectful and open-minded. And being said, with the 4th of July being today, she said, yeah, so basically right now in our country, it's from, we're going to protect kids from conception until school shootings. And I realized, like, first of all, it took me, like whoa, like, because it hits hard. And I'm thinking, my kids grew up, school shootings were a thing. Like, I can remember being in law school and Columbine happening and being just, and then Sandy Hook, and it was like, what in the world? Like, they were so, and now it's like, when's the next one? Where's it gonna be? And that's the life that my kids have. That's their reality. Like, and I don't have answers to change it. I mean, I don't, and I'm very honest about that. Like, I don't have the answers. I wish I did. I don't. But I hope one of these kids do, and I hope it's one, and I have a lot of concerns about what our Supreme Court is making decisions on lately, and how they're making those decisions, and where we're headed. Like, I don't know, all the feels right now, just lots of feels. So, long story, back on track. Sorry. So I still owe the periodic table 1 more day. I owe Marine Corps emblem 8 more days, and then I had been deciding what to do about the wondrous. It's 12 parts. I did figure that out. And what I'm referring to is the Wonders of the Solar System by Climbing Goats Design, who is out of the UK. This is up till part 9. There are 12 parts. I'm still on part 1. I had been debating the fabric choice. If you remember, I'm just using a plain 14 count Aida. Nothing major, nothing exciting. That was where we are leading into it. I have not even worked 1 day on this. I was debating the fabric, so I went on to the Facebook page for Climbing Goats, and I went through all of the pictures, and somebody actually did do one on similar fabric. It's just a plain soft gray, like dove gray Ada. And it actually turned out really pretty. Um, is it my her piece is beautiful, and please, when I say this, please understand what I'm trying to say because I don't want it to come across hurtful or mean. It's not one of my favorite backgrounds that are picked, but it's still very pretty, and that made me go, okay, just go ahead and keep stitching it's gonna be okay. It will still be pretty. I may add a little bit of sparkle. Although Bean's not a sparkly kind of girl. Like, that's not her thing. So, we'll see. Bean's fine with the gray. She's fine if I changed it. She's pretty easygoing, in all honesty. So, um, but hopefully between now and next time I see you, I will have the last day done on the periodic table that is called for WIPGO, and either we'll have some more. Hopefully, we'll have an FFO on my Halloween small. And who knows? So, all that to say is, I still have a couple design ideas floating in my brain that I need to get out, but right now I'm going to bed. It is now 7:25 here in Michigan, and my butt is going to be in bed probably before 8 because it's going to take time to upload this. So, as always, if there is anything that I can do, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm His Princess Kelly on Instagram and TikTok. A 10-pound and a 100-pound dog are chasing each other and trying to wrestle each other. Make it make sense. What's funny is then the little dog gets up on the couch to try and be closer to eye level with the big dog who's standing on the ground. It's actually quite funny. I think we've covered everything. If not, we'll cover it next week. If you need anything, please, please, please reach out. Even if I'm tired and exhausted, which COVID, you know, I will do my best to help. Like I said, we've got our stitching plans laid out. Hopefully for the next week, we'll see where it takes us. I am surprised we're now 3 months into the Under the Sea sale, and I am still current, going into month 4. You know, because I don't think adding the words in the one line of the border is that big of a deal. Because I might not add it anyways, or I may change the words. So yeah. With that, I'm going to bid you adieu. I'm going to wish you well. I hope you all are staying healthy and safe. Don't blow off any body parts this evening. Oh, and I will have the cup done before next week because I might be drinking out of it. So, with that, love you guys. Talk to you soon.